Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to talk about culture shock, something you may or may not experience when going to Italy for the first time. So, in case you don't already know, culture shock is a feeling of mild disorientation when you're exposed to a new culture or set of attitudes, basically a whole different way of life. Meaning that it's something that you will experience more as a foreigner if you're coming from a city that already has a level of culture in its own. Now, I personally lived most of my life in rural America, so I was basically coming from a place that didn't have that much culture to begin with. So going to Italy for the first time as a kid wasn't really all that shocking. I didn't have a negative shock experience. But if you're coming from somewhere like New York or some city that has a lot of culture, like its own kind of culture, then you're going to have probably some more shocking culture shock. Now, that being said, I did still experience some culture shock because there are many things that happen in Italian life that are still very different from anything you would ever experience back in America, big city or small town. Now, I just want to say real quick that before I list off some of these differences, not all of these things are negative, and I don't want to offend anyone. Okay, so number one, people in Italy are much more upfront. So this can be a positive thing or a negative thing. So I'll just use the fat example. If you're a little bit overweight or you are becoming a little bit overweight, people will pretty much just tell you to your face. So that can be negative for some people. Or it can be a positive thing because, for instance, if you have something on your face, like some food on your face, people in America sometimes wouldn't tell you that, but in Italy, they would definitely tell you that. So it can also be a positive thing. Alright, number two is the food culture. Now, people in Italy will spend a crazy amount of time just talking about food and recipes and stuff, whereas in America, people don't really do that. We just kind of order a pizza if we're hungry, and we don't spend a whole lot of time cooking. It's not really a big part of our lives. Alright, now number three is a big one. People in Italy talk about their emotions openly. Now, you know how most people here, like in America for example, we just kind of hold in all of our feelings and emotions and we never really talk about it, and like over the weeks we just kind of get it all built up and then we just explode and it all gets out in that fashion. Well, people in Italy just like completely openly talk about their feelings and their emotions, you know, even with strangers. It's completely normal, and yeah, that's something that we should definitely do more. I don't know why we don't do that more here in America. Alright, and number four, which is my favorite, is that people in Italy won't judge you based on your age. So what I mean by this is that they won't expect you to be filling some kind of role because of your age. So let's say you just turned 25 and you're still living with your parents because you're having some money issues. They won't judge you because of this, because they're basically smart enough to realize that living with your family is more efficient. And basically the pace of life is a lot slower there and people aren't as fast and crazy and super judgmental. So, alright, so in conclusion, if you're someone who's going to Italy for the first time and you experience some culture shock, it's not going to be a negative experience. While it may have some negative side effects, it's not going to be anything that's going to ruin your trip, and it's definitely going to better you as a person, and you're going to learn a lot about the world. And once again, I just want to say that these are simply my opinions, and I don't want to offend anyone. And while I do prefer certain things that the Italians do, I don't want to insult America as a country. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this topic, and I sure hope that said something that's helpful to anyone out there who may be traveling to Italy soon. And if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. pretty much any American city or rural area. Now, that being said, I did. Now, now that not all of these things. I just want to say real quick before I lift. Now, I just want to say real quick that before I lift off.
Retraction of the gaseous oxygen vent hood is now underway.
Before I lift off.
OTC caution warning, memory.
Before I lift off.
Clear is complete.
I lift off.
We are go for start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
I lift off.
Atlantis on a mission to study planet Earth.
While it might